Cancer, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to your funny and your most favorite Armenian guy. My cutie patootie looking all this so good. So dear Cancer, today I'm going to be doing your mid-October reading. And in this reading, I'm going to take a look at your recent past, present, and future. I'm going to clarify the main challenge, all the cards, and get some final advice for you. Dear Cancer, I would like to express my gratitude to each and every one of you for being here onto the channel. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you, my beautiful Cancers. And these are general readings, so they may resonate with you and they may not. Starting off my day with a cup of coffee, which I already had, and my Cancers. Brand new deck, by the way. Okay. Okay, so your challenge, dear Cancer, is the Hermit for mid-October. And what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, you have the Lovers. So your challenge here, dear Cancer, has to do a lot with the Hermit energy. And honestly, I'm not surprised. I think I'm really picking up on an energy of certain group of Cancers out there that are reflecting about a situation. And that is about, a relationship here, right? About the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. There is a certain path, there is a certain direction that you are contemplating when it comes to your person, how you should move towards with them, how you should move on with them. For many of you, you're actually just kind of withdrawing and going within yourself. You might be in isolation right now, and I'm sending you a big hug. You might be just like going through a lot of self-reflection. The Hermit is also talking about a spiritual awakening. When it comes to a love relationship, this is an indication of, silence. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this and see why this is your challenge. In the recent past, you have the Wheel of Fortune, the Page of Swords, and the Seven of Cups. So in the recent past, dear Cancer, I do see here someone coming into your life and becoming part of your destiny. Okay, this person could have been a fire sign, air sign, water sign. I do get the sense of here that, there was an initiation of a conversation. You met this person, you both started, having this conversation, and then it just took off, right? In the recent past, and everything just felt like just perfect. However, there came a point where for whatever reason with the Seven of Cups, it became a little bit confusing. There were some situations here where you maybe didn't know exactly where you were standing with this person in this connection. We're going to talk about this in a minute when we clarify. In the present moment, dear Cancer, you have the Queen of Cups, which is you, the Eight of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. Some of you are possibly dealing also with an Earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. But here is the thing. There is this situation here between you and this person, right? Or Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. So there is this situation here with the Eight of Swords that many of you are feeling quite alarmed by it, okay? You can't really see in front of you, like, why am I even holding on to this person? Why did this person even come into my life? Okay, we're going to talk about this shortly and see what the Eight of Swords here is about. In the near future, you have the Magician, the Five of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. So in the near future, there is a conflict that's going to be resolved, but that's going to come with communication. Because the Ace of Swords here is about having a clear communication and talking about something. I just had my left ear ringing, so there is a download here coming in for you. So manifestation, you're setting an intention to manifest here something. Maybe this is also happening when you're going within yourself. And you have the Five of Swords and the Ace of Swords. There is a conflict that you want to put an end to, or there is an unresolved, unfinished business, okay? And it comes down to this love relationship here that you have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck, the Three of Wands, and the Four of Cups. A lot of you are in like no contact situation from this person, and many of you maybe are feeling the fear of like, what if there is a rejection, So we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna clarify, there is definitely a lot of thinking going on there, Cancer. So I got your back. By the way, Cancer, I live in Vegas. It was like pouring down, raining so hard here that all the streets were like flooding. I don't think like all the Nevada people are like really well, at least in like Vegas, they are not really well equipped for like driving in the flood. Um, but it was a cozy weather, thunderstorm, lightning, sweater weather. You know what I'm saying? So let's clarify your challenge. The Hermit is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, and the Ten of Swords. So dear Cancer, in the present moment, you seem to be kind of like going back and forth within yourself, right? When I was saying earlier, like, where do I stand with this person? Many of you have been hurt and really deeply disappointed, by the fact that something happened between you and them. Some of you, this situation that ended brought a lot of pain to you, right? A lot of you are still healing and recovering from this separation. Many of you are doing a lot of breath work, as I talk about meditation, journaling. So you're doing a lot of internal work and you're grounding yourself, right? Because the Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles is about grounding. You seem to be kind of maybe have these emotional roller coasters, right? I like to explain the cards so they make more sense. You see the waters in the background that's like wavy, right? It talks about your emotional state of being right now. And you're trying to regulate yourself. You're doing everything within your power to really understand deeply and understand like why did things end between you and them? Why did this person come into your life? And that's why you have the Hermit here. Some of you may be also dealing with the Virgo. Okay, or Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Nonetheless, let's talk about the Wheel of Fortune real quick in the recent past. So the Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the Hermit, the Four of Wands, and the Two of Wands. Again, for many of you, like I said, this person, when they came into your life, maybe cultural differences, different major differences between you and them. Some of you live near a body of water, by the way, or this person lives near a body of water as well. I do see here in the recent past that, there was probably a conversation about marriage, proposal, or maybe you were already getting ready to get engaged with this person, or you were married to them, but something happened. And I'm going to be honest with you, as I always am, dear Cancer. I think that this silence that started kind of like generating between you and this person in the past was a direction for you and them to go through some sort of a spiritual awakening and understanding. Because when two people go through spiritual awakening and they have this deep understanding what love is and what parts of themselves and trauma they really need to let go of, then they're able to come back together, and then if they want to, and work it out together in a healthy way. Because a lot of people nowadays, they walk around without, any self-awareness, without having to deal with their trauma, and they get into a relationship, and then the honeymoon phase is out, and then they start having all of those issues coming from their previous relationships or childhood, right? I know you're someone that you might be even a therapist, Cancer, so I know you know what I'm talking about. A lot of you are very spiritual people. A lot of you are very intuitive, Cancer, so it's a no-brainer for you. Now, the Page of Swords is clarified by the Fool, the Queen of Cups, and the Temperance. Some of you are dealing with the Sagittarius also. So I think that for a lot of you, you gave this connection and this relationship another chance. The Queen of Cups is you, the Fool is a brand new beginning. So many of you really wanted to heal this person, save this person. You have the Eight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So you definitely wanted to like heal this person, help them become the best version of themselves, okay? However, there was a point where a lot of you did not have enough clarity when it came to this person and which direction this relationship and this connection was supposed to go. So let's talk about the Seven of Cups in the recent past. It's clarified by the Ten of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Ace of Wands, and you have the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So for a lot of you, maybe there was an offer to commit to this person or to marry, but I do get the sense of here, even if you were wanting to be with this person or you were already, there was uncertainty. about commitment. Maybe there was a lack of commitment coming from this person, or there were a lot of differences between the traditions. You know what I'm saying? Like traditions of how you and this person were supposed to be together. Maybe there was a lot of obstacles when it came to being conventional, non-conventional, age differences, sexuality, a lot of the things that happen between you and this person. So I do see here this family dynamic. I do see here this energy of like, you know, wanting to settle down, but there was a lot of unclarity. Maybe someone tried to keep their options open also. Now, in the present moment, you have the Queen of Cups, Eight of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. So in the present moment, dear Cancer, there is definitely an energy about you wanting to see the truth, because the Eight of Swords in original tarot deck shows someone's eyes that are closed and her hands are tied up. So definitely this is about you wanting to see the full truth. There is something that might be hidden from you, you want to realize. So you have the Hanged Man, the Knight of Swords, and the Four of Cups. This has to do a lot about rejection. Okay, for many of you are starting to see this situation from a different perspective. Maybe this person, either you rejected them or they rejected you, but there is a lot of thoughts going on. There is a lot of thinking going on. Knight of Swords is your thoughts. The Hangman is, you know, you're holding tight, like you're hanging in there, and you're also giving it a moment. You're giving it a second. You're not rushing into cutting this person out of your life, but also you're not rushing into wanting to just jump back into this person's lap right away. You know what I mean? So let's talk about the Eight of Swords here. There is something here that you're really wanting to reveal. Eight of Swords. You might be wondering if this person might be involved with another person, or like what is the real reason why I have so much uncertainty about this person. Eight of Swords is clarified by the Moon. By the way, this is your card. Wow. And speaking of hidden things, I'm going to pull two more cards. You know, I clarify with three, right? So the Moon here is you, Cancer. And this is you coming out of the water when you see at the bottom, right? The indication of the definition of the Moon, it means anxiety, worries, and doubts, but also hidden things, subconscious mind. Maybe you start seeing synchronicities, signs. Maybe you start seeing certain things in your dream as well. Okay, so you have the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Sun at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like that for a lot of you, there is this understanding and realization that the person that you're really much into, or you were married to, or you wanted to be, this person maybe was in and out of your life, and that inconsistency just kind of bothers you. You know what I mean? The Knight of Wands energy, right? The Knight of Wands, you can almost tell this person is thinking about you, or they're going to come towards you. But this is also talking about you realizing that, you know, in the present moment, if this person comes into my life, I'm not really sure about their consistency and their level of commitment. So that's why you have the Knight of Cups heading the other way, which is actually the other way from the Knight of Wands, right? Do you see which direction they're going to? So you're kind of like emotionally detaching, and like, you know, with the Queen of Pentacles, you're headed towards grounding yourself in the present moment and wanting to be very firm and setting even boundaries. So the Queen of Pentacles is clarified by the Five of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. Literally. Because you don't want to end up here. It's very simple, very clear right here, dear Cancer. You don't want to end up here with the Three of Swords, Nine of Swords, and the Five of Swords. You know, there might have been even some arguments and conflicts and constant disagreements between you and this person, and you want to make sure that you're in a state of calmness, you're in a state of peace. There is no conflict, there is no second guesses going on, you know what I mean? So you're protecting yourself and you're doing the right thing. That's why you have the Hermit here, which is like, don't bother me, don't talk to me, I need to focus on myself, I need to really analyze this situation, tune into my emotions and my feelings as well. So in the near future, you have the Magician clarified by the Ten of Pentacles, Three of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. So you're manifesting. I mean, you are manifesting a reunion, but also what you're manifesting is basically what's best for you to work out in the best case scenario. And you do want to settle down with this person. You want to have a reunion, which is literally the Three of Cups. You want to sit down and talk to this person. And I think, you know, this person is going to be the one that they're going to come forward to resolve this conflict. This is someone, in fact, notices you emotionally detaching, Cancer, and kind of have that energetic boundary, and they're feeling that, and this person wants to come forward and have a conversation with you. There is this energy of wanting to clear the air with you with the Five of Swords, clarified by the Three of Wands, the Lovers, and the Two of Swords. You and this person, like, they're watching you. I do get this energy here of them watching you, being very much interested in you, about your whereabouts, what you are doing, what you are up to, what's going on. So the Three of Swords here talks about they might be going back and forth about this decision, but ultimately they love you. Okay, this is as the Lovers here, but here's the thing. No sugarcoating here. I'm going to keep it real. Loving you, of course. That's amazing. That's beautiful. But there has to be action for this person, okay? Not to run away, not to deny things, not to be in some sort of a denial of what they really need to work on, okay? So this is a decision here that's gonna come through with the Ace of Swords, which talks about like being very firm and confident on the direction you want to move forward with this person. I think that's why you're gathering your thoughts. You're gathering this data within you with the Hermit to tell this person something very specific. Ace of Swords clarified by the King of Swords. Literally, this is the no BS king in tarot. Face to face, talking, having a conversation. The Emperor, Aries energy, Devil, Capricorn. Okay, so it's about really being very specific and not sugarcoating, not thinking that you're going to hurt this person, whatever. What is it that's coming with the Devil? What is this toxic ties and attachments and all of these things that are affecting this relationship and this connection? You're going to address that, because you don't want to be back with this person when they come with the same, when they come back into your life with the same set of emotions and feelings. And it's, by the way, it's 10:10 on my clock right now, 10:10. You want to set these very strong boundaries, okay? And you also have been feeling that your energy has shifted. You're kind of like in this new portal where you're going within, you're protecting yourself, you're doing the right things for yourself, and you are preserving your energy, okay? So if there were things that maybe this person did or said, or addictions or substance abuse or third parties, whatever it might be, you don't want to face that anymore. You don't want to have to deal with that anymore. You want to set some really strong and solid boundaries. Okay, so let's get the advice and see what is it that you need to know. Okay, so you have the Knight of Pentacles, the Full Moon, and the Two of Pentacles. The Full Moon here is one of the rare cards that happen to be for you in this deck, also in this reading specifically. So the Full Moon here talks about illumination when I read the meaning of this in the deck. And in this full moon that we just had in Aries, I think there was a lot of things that started becoming more illuminated for you and very much clear in front of you, right? So your biggest piece of advice here, dear Cancer, is about you really not going back and forth and wavering, because the Two of Pentacles here, okay, this is the equivalent in tarot. You might be going back and forth and being a little bit tempted to kind of be back with this person, take them back, do the things that you used to do again and all this stuff. But the most important thing here you got to remember is, is this going to affect me being grounded? Is this going to affect my own stability? So it's about you prioritizing yourself, being the king, the queen of pentacles here, which you literally have coming up also in your advice as well. And, the full moon, what is it that is being illuminated in your mind? What is your inner gut telling you? What is your intuition telling you about this person that you need to be aware of? Now that you don't love them, you do love them, dear Cancer. But the big question here is, are you prioritizing yourself, and you're not going through this hermit for nothing, basically. You know what I mean? So don't abandon yourself and don't forget why you started this journey. Okay? So, dear Cancer, this is what I had for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that this reading helped, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.